Hello, my name is Guillermo Burto, and I have an assignment about my presentation in Canvas. And this is my presentation that I have already sent about learning strategies as cognitive skills. First of all, I want to tell you that I'm in love with the topic. I'm in love with the theme, with the practice, with the task, because I'm in favor of developing strategies when we are learning a second language. I know that for some people, for some students, it's so hard, and I want to talk about me when I was a student. It was so difficult for me, the listening part, the listening skill. So we need to develop strategies, and those strategies sooner or later become skills. So there are skillful students that are so good. They don't need to do a big effort in order to, or make any effort in order to understand everything in a printed paper or in an audio or etc. Right? On the other hand, in production, while they're speaking or while they're writing is so easy because they are skillful and they have that capacity of do a lot of things. In my case, it was so difficult, it was so hard for me to, for example, in audios, to get all the listening, and to do some exercises with some listening exercises. So it was difficult, and I had to develop my metacognitive strategies in order to succeed. In my presentation in Canvas, as you can see, well, I don't know if it's really light, but I want to focus in the Oxford. Here you are, the Oxford, that she gave some general features about learning strategies and how they contribute to the main goal. What was the main goal? Communicative competence. So all these aspects that she describes for me was like the top notch of all of them, and about problem orientated, about the actions that were taken by the learner, about the support in learning, both directly and indirectly, that can be taught and flexible. So it was one of my favorite aspects in this theme in the anthology. According to what I have read, and all the aspects that I was highlighting, I want to tell you that in my personal experience, I'm not considered like having a lots of experience, but I do have some experience in teaching and of course in learning. And I know that, well, first I become a learner, then I have been teaching for more than 2 decades. So I know that how things work when my students, and I identify the when students have all these weaknesses and all these strengths. How can we as teachers can boost all these potential in order to develop all strategies while they are learning. One of I would say like that I like students that speak a lot. So I provide them with tools, with knowledge in order to become these kind of people that are asking questions non-stop in conversation. So I don't like passive students that are just asking or well, that are just answering yes no questions. I like students that are really active, that they can just keep a conversation going for 10 minutes, for 20 minutes, because they know how to ask questions. So I tell my students, I do prefer that you know how to ask questions, better than just to respond, to answer. If you know, yes, no, etc. No, if you want to take a conversation, or you don't feel comfortable with the conversation, you have that potential in order to change the topic and in order to ask more questions of the person that is in front of you. So it's one of my favorite uh, skill that I give my students. So they need to know how to form questions. They need I provide them with vocabulary. I provide them with grammar, and they know how to make questions correctly. All these active students that I have been trying to train. I have been doing for many years, and believe me, it has been a really hard work because at the beginning I was like used to work a lot with grammar. It was my priority, grammar, and right now that I love vocabulary and is my priority, I have been just trying to have that balance. Okay, so I can identify those weaknesses and try to help my students, because I consider that a good teacher is not that one that scores the best student in the class, and maybe the one that wins competitions and stuff. No, I I do try to help weak learners, and try to see how they succeed. So it is a really difficult task, but I'll try to do all the time so I can identify those students that are not motivated, that are poor while they're just acquiring, learning the language. And I think in myself, and I just reflect and I say, like, I was not a very skillful student, so I want to help these students so they can just develop all what you have shared in this lovely lesson. So I want to finish telling you that teachers inspire students, and that inspiration can be and can mark forever, right? So students sometimes are just there because they need it, because they don't really want it, or some of them want it. But if we inspire our students, they can do more. And I have been inspiring a lot of students that right now they are my colleagues. Thanks for listening to me. It's a pleasure, and see you soon. Bye bye.